Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome back to another Shayy reaction. This is 10 more Undertale secrets you don't know. So my last Shayy reaction I did, the 10 Undertale secrets you don't know, did very well, and I had a fair number of people asking me to, do the other ones, I should say. And, after that previous one, like talking about, the really small chance of getting the Gaster door twice, the mortal enemies request from Metaton, and just all those other weird little things that I'm shocked were still actually like hidden and not widely known. Like, I'm surprised that there actually are, there's 10 of these. Well, I mean, there's these 10, and then there's another video after this with another 10. So there were 30, hopefully, 30, secrets in Undertale that weren't widely known about, like, close to a decade after the game had been launched. So, honestly, congrats to Shayy for finding these, because, like that, just knowing about that accomplishment alone is nuts. I'm just gonna get this thing started, because I really don't have anything else to say on this, besides the fact that I want to know more. So, yeah, of course, as always, original videos linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video linked to my Let's Play of the day. And if you liked this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because my main goal for this year is to hopefully hit 5,000 subscribers, and hopefully I hit it, because you know how it works. The vast majority of people who watch my content aren't actually subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change even just a little bit, because, honestly, being a YouTuber was a childhood dream of mine, and everybody who subscribes and watches my content, you're helping fulfill an old childhood dream. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
A few months ago, I showcased 10 secrets and facts in Undertale that many people did not know. That video did really well, and a lot of people asked me in the comments, are there any other secrets you know besides these? So today, we'll be covering 10 more facts about Undertale that you probably don't already know. Only the most hardcore fans will know about some of these, so get ready. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to quickly mention the majority of my viewers aren't subscribed to the channel. Subscribing helps me a lot against the YouTube algorithm and helps support the channel, so I'd appreciate it a lot. I have a lot more niche Undertale knowledge to share, so if you want to see a third video in this series, let me know in the comments below. Thank you, and enjoy the video. During battles in this game, you can hold down X or Shift to have your soul move at half speed. This helps for precision against certain enemy patterns. If you didn't know this existed, don't worry, the game never once mentions it. In fact, lots of people thought this mechanic was invented by the fan game TS Underswap because it actually explains it. The mechanic also wasn't present in Deltarune until a later patch after Chapter 2 had already been released. But enough about that. It's Undertale, so you already know there's some jank with this ability. While fighting the magic enemy, you can use the Talk Act to cause your controls to become inverted. This works as you'd expect, until you try to use the Slow Soul ability. If you hold X and try to move right by holding left, you'll move at an incredible speed to the right. This is most likely due to a copy-paste issue in the code, as the slowdown code does not account for the correct direction while your controls are inverted. This strangely also occurs in the Papyrus date sequence of all places. While selecting Papyrus's clothing to progress, holding X causes your soul to drift to the right, again most likely a result of a copy-paste issue.
Yeah, okay, so reiterating the fact that, Undertale is a very poorly coded game. But again, granted, coding, the limited knowledge of coding that I have, I'm just trying to think of, what kind of code spaghetti is happening under the hood, where pressing the X, which would normally slow you down, which would have to do something with your speed, why would that translate to a rightward movement in... Oh, okay.
Oh, and since I'll never get a chance to talk about this anywhere else, you can use Slow Soul mode in version 1.0 of Undertale by holding F9 due to a debug mode left over. Oops.
Okay.
Did you know it's actually possible to escape Sans' final attack before he falls asleep? This exploit can be performed by first consuming 3, or at least 3, CT items in order to max out your soul's speed before reaching the final attack. While we're on the way there, here's a couple helpful Sans tricks for you evil gamers replaying the genocide route. During any of his slam attacks, if your keyboard allows for it, you can simply hold all 4 arrow keys to completely dodge this move. Also, during his final attack, when he slams you into the left wall here, hold right such that you jump off the wall on the first possible frame. If done right, these bone columns will no longer be able to hit you due to you offsetting your position, giving you a big advantage in this attack. Okay, back to the exploit now.
Jeez, okay. Again, I don't think I'd ever have to use that because, unless I'm playing a fan game, generally don't do genocide routes. But, again, code spaghetti. Stop getting worked up about it.
Once Sans traps you and begins monologuing at you, hold X to use slow soul mode and move towards the edge of the box. By releasing X just before touching the border while maxed out on CT, you'll actually be able to bypass Sans and slightly nudge the box to the left before getting teleported back. You can do this over and over and over again and eventually move the box all the way to the left and attack Sans while he's still talking, resulting in this humorous glitched cutscene.
Now that's what I call double talk. He is so confused. Oh, okay.
If you're wondering why this isn't used in speedruns, it's because it both takes too much time to set up and actually way too much time to execute. But hey, it's really funny, so there's that. Seriously, this took me like 10 minutes in order to execute.
Jeez.
Speaking of the genocide route, there's actually a way to speed it up considerably compared to what most of you are probably used to. Every room in Undertale has a certain amount of steps taken before an encounter can show up. This initial number is usually pretty low and will increase with every single enemy that you kill in the area. However, what a lot of people don't know is that each room actually has a second count of steps for all encounters after the first one, and this number is substantially larger than the first number. This is a nice quality of life feature in the pacifist and neutral route of the game, allowing you to walk around in rooms without getting endlessly bombarded by encounters like a Pokemon dungeon. However, this has the reversed effect in the genocide route, extending grind times far longer than they're probably actually supposed to be. This can be avoided by simply changing rooms quickly every single time you kill a monster. It's worth noting that this does not apply to any room in the core area, as those rooms all have genocide route specific encounter step counts, so you don't need to do this trick there. If you ever replay this route, here's a little trick for you to make it a lot faster.
Okay. So, I guess in universe you could just see that as a Frisk leaves the room, everybody kind of steps out of the shadows and calms down, and then Frisk immediately walks back in and starts another fight. I mean, at that point, the genocide route's already really mean, but that's just rubbing salt in the wound.
Have you ever sent Temmie to college? By paying her 1,000 G, you can send her there, which will unlock the ability to purchase the extremely overpowered Temmie armor. This armor has all the benefits of the other armors, giving you the passive healing of the apron, the attack boost of the cowboy hat, and the added invulnerability frames of the cloudy glasses. A lot of people probably know it exists, but have never used it due to the incredible price tag of 9,999 G.
Yeah.
What only a few of you probably know is that the Temmie armor's price decreases every single time you die. This eventually caps out at 25 deaths, making the price of the armor 750 G, which is a lot more affordable.
Oh.
If you're wondering how you can get this much money, it's pretty easy, especially when you have both dimensional boxes. Gerson will sell cloudy glasses for less than you can sell them to Temmie for, so just fill up as many inventory slots as you can with glasses and sell them all, and repeat the process until you have enough money.
God, I wish I had known that. Like when I was doing my Undertale Red and Yellow fight, because that would have made the Asgore fight so much easier to have the Temmie armor. Instead, I was just obsessed with trying to find the dog residue, which apparently isn't even in that version of the game.
What a lot of people didn't know, and even myself until very recently, is that the code here is actually broken. You were supposed to be able to purchase the Temmie armor for 500 G after 30 deaths, but this doesn't work. In the code, the game has a long series of if statements checking your death count and lowering the price of the third shop slot to match. As you can see here, the final price accidentally modifies the 4th slot instead of the 3rd, which doesn't exist, and therefore this doesn't work as intended. If you're curious what I mean, slot 1 in the game is actually slot 0 in the code. Have
it's
fun
one of
paying
those.
extra.
Okay.
That all was a bit complicated, so let's cover something super simple that tons of people do not know and isn't well documented. A lot of players will immediately unequip the bandage the moment they find a new piece of armor, as it provides no defense and even becomes a healing item when taken off. However, you might not want to actually do this, as the bandage has a hidden skill that's super useful for those wanting to play through the game quicker, such as a repeat playthrough. When the bandage is equipped, you will never fail to flee an encounter. The success rate is fixed to be 100%. Normally, any armor makes you only have a chance to flee, but the bandage is always 100%. This makes it extremely useful for repeat playthroughs where you won't get hit as much and don't need the added defense.
Really? Okay. I mean, okay. So I guess I get. Again, I'm trying to think of like an in-universe reason for that, and I can almost imagine that's like, oh, the monsters are less likely to, actually go after Frisk, who is in fact a small child, especially if said small child is, has an adorable little bandage on them or something like that. Huh. Okay. Again, that's really random.
Speaking of equipping
Wait, does the Tem armor
let's
have
talk
that?
about the most effective way to beat the Metaton EX fight. Last video, I talked about the secret word Hotfind Entecute that give you the maximum amount of points. Yeah. But did you know that you can actually beat this fight so quickly you can skip the essay altogether? By equipping an armor piece during this fight, you'll gain 1,500 ratings, way more than any other action by a wide margin. By equipping the ribbon, manly bandana, tutu, cloudy glasses, and then finally the apron, you'll quickly amass 12,000 ratings and the fight will end before Metaton can even ask his essay question, much less lose any limbs. This actually shows one of the very few instances in which Undertale doesn't have the usual attention to detail that it does. Even by ending this fight so quickly that Metaton never loses his arms or legs, the sprite afterwards will always be a torso regardless. If there's ever any kind of Undertale remaster or update in the future, I would love to see this acknowledged and new interactions added, since the sprite for a fully limbed Metaton already exists in the pacifist epilogue.
Okay. Again, yeah, I can very much see how that wouldn't, really be a thing, because one, I can very much see that being overlooked, and two, I mean, like, if most people play like me, they pretty much, sell off their old armors as soon as they get new ones because, money.
Since we're already in the core, you're probably familiar with the final puzzle to deactivate this laser. You can either go do the traditional puzzle on the left side known as the Sage's Path, or head north to the Warrior's Path to flip this switch after fighting some monsters. What a lot of people don't know is there's a third solution, and the game actually tells you this plainly in the text.
Wait, what?
The text here states, "I cannot fight, I cannot think," referencing the warrior and sage paths respectively. Then it says, "But with patience I will make my way through." This isn't flavor text, it's very literal. Simply standing in this room for over a minute causes the laser to disappear, allowing you to progress. And they said being lazy wouldn't get me anywhere.
Okay. Man, I'm saying that. Okay, if anybody can print up like the transcript or the subtitles for this video, I'm pretty sure the word "okay" will have been said a lot. But just wait. Okay, again, I wish I had known that during my fight with. I wish I had known that during my Undertale Red and Yellow playthrough, because now I'm really curious as to what like Chara's and Clover's reaction to something like that would have been.
Here's an extra bonus fact for you all, provided by a commenter from the previous video. Yamal Paka mentioned that it's possible to get on top of the bar table in the genocide route, and this is completely true. If you look at the hitboxes for this room, you'll notice the gap between the solid blue hitboxes covered by this NPC.
Honestly, I love the fact that the hitboxes are just blue scribbles.
In the genocide route, this NPC vanishes, allowing you to walk on top of and behind the bar where you're clearly not supposed to be. However, I did some extra research, and it turns out this room has another hitbox issue, but only in version 1.0.
Oh,
In
okay.
this version, you can simply walk out of bounds at the bottom of the room by holding the left wall and walking down. Seems like Grilby's bar is just full of funny oversights, huh?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about this legitimately. Given that, you know, Gaster was the royal scientist, and presumably oversaw a lot of experiments and construction stuff like that, how much you want to bet that Grilby's bar was built by Gaster at some point, and that's why it's so broken?
Huh. Speaking of oversights, Toby Fox once lamented that Undertale doesn't have a run button. Well, as it turns out, you can move at double speed under some circumstances. In this room in Waterfall, that's sometimes referred to as the Disney room, by holding up and down, you can walk at double your normal speed. This works in any place where there's only a single pixel gap between hitboxes, so you can also perform this behind the fridges in the True Lab if you like.
What, you can move behind the fridges? Okay, again, that's... Okay, you're gonna have to rename this video as 11 more Undertale secrets, because I did not know you could walk behind the fridges.
I think I'll still take that run button, though.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a few people play through Undertale casually, and many times they'll struggle on this puzzle here, found at the north end of the vent room in Hotland. Before I reveal the extremely extravagant solution, there's actually a secret here if you fail enough times. Normally, the text will say, restart, when you mess up and the puzzle resets.
Okay.
But there's a 1 in 100 chance for it to instead say, restaurant. Very few people know about this, since it's uncommon for people to intentionally fire and mess up the puzzle instead of, just trying to solve it.
Honestly, that reminds me of the whole thing from TS Underswap, where it said library, and the library's name changed every time you entered and left it. Ugh.
Anyway, if you've ever floundered around on this puzzle for a long time, it turns out the solution is actually incredibly easy. You just press left, right, and then fire. Yeah, it was that easy the whole time.
A case of overthinking it being the problem.
For the final secret of the video, I want to cover something I have never seen any other person talk about unless I myself showed it to them already. In the ruins, there's this room with the cracked tiles where we have to use the bottom section to find out the path on the top.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, right? Well, just in case someone was having a really bad day, Toby Fox had them covered. If you manage to fail this puzzle 10 times, attempting to fail it again caused the cracked floors to deactivate with a little jingle for good measure. This prevents you from failing the puzzle again and allows you to walk where you otherwise wouldn't be able to. Pretty cool, right? It gets better. Being able to walk over the cracked floors exposes that this little bit of wall here actually just has no collision at all, allowing you to walk right out of bounds. You'll be stuck between two hitboxes that extend far, far out to the right, but eventually you can walk past them and get lost in the void forever.
Undertale is a beautiful game, but it is nowhere near polished. Maybe now that I think about it, maybe Undertale really is a dark world created by, Gaster in Deltarune or something like that, because there are a lot of flaws here, and this is obviously a very early prototype.
Getting lost in the endless void. Reminds you of somebody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on it, though. Nah, it's probably not a very big deal.
Again, a pretty short video, but honestly, like, a lot of these, and the fact that there are just so many broken hitboxes in this game, like, again, like, I could I could see the hidden path room in the ruins. I could see that not being discovered while bug testing, because again, under normal circumstances, if you actually do it correctly, you're never even going to be able to get there in the first place. And again, just the fact that all the hitboxes are drawn just blue rectangles and squiggly lines, that just kills me. It's beautiful. Undertale is a wonderfully broken and poorly made mess, and I love every single minute of it. Oh, God. Okay, so honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, if I look, so both this and the previous video came out very, relatively close to one another. But when I look at it, the third video here came out 6 months ago as opposed to a year ago. So maybe that means that one has not more work, but more even, or it has even more hidden secrets in it. So that's definitely going to be fun to see. And I'll probably either record that one like probably tomorrow at some point. Honestly, I need to actually speed up on my recording because I'm actually running a little low at the moment. But honestly, that was, absolutely phenomenal. Again, just all the little things showing how, this masterpiece of a game could just be, so rough under the surface. I mean, it just goes to show you don't need to be good at making games to make a good game. Granted, I mean, I hope Deltarune is better put together. I haven't, personally looked under the hood myself. But I'd like to assume so. Oh, God. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So, yeah, of course, as always, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.